Whew. Not gonna lie, this is gonna be a tough one. That was a brutal stretch of hockey. But nonetheless, welcome back to this week's edition of the Habs Fan Forum. I'm Ben Dankyu, and here, of course, at the forum, even when it's a tough week of hockey, this is where us fans come to have our voices heard. Like I mentioned last week, we are sponsored by DraftKings. So right now, if you go to DraftKings and during the NBA playoffs, they are offering a free-to-play pool with you having the chance to win 25 grand. Yeah, that's right. You can play a free pool and win 25 G's. That's awesome. Just use the promo code THPN. Again, that's THPN. And hopefully you win some money, courtesy of the Rocket Sports Media team and DraftKings. So, let's talk about these Montreal Canadiens and their complete inability to show up this week. Yes, I realize they started off the season with a huge Game 1 win. However, looking back at that game, you can definitely see some of the flaws that they had coming into the rest of the games. Let's be real here, they rode a really extremely hot, on his game, Carey Price, plus a crazy gargantuan effort by Paul Byron shorthanded just to squeak out that 2-1 win. I'll give a little shout out. Josh Anderson looked great in that game. But yeah, that's about it for the positives I have of the series, because the last 3 games was a complete drop off the cliff. 4 goals in 4 games? Are you kidding me? So one, the top players aren't playing. Let's be real here. You're in game 4 and you have 4 goals, and Toffoli, where you at? Gallagher, where you at? Deneau, I know you're not really a top player in my mind, but still a first line center, where you at? Tatar, where you at? Don't get me wrong, I know there's some secondary points here or there, but not a single Hab can be feeling, other than of course Carey Price, can be feeling that great about these first 4 games. They're not showing up now from the front. It's not like there's a front end is the only problem. The back end isn't coming out great either. Where's Jeff Petrie? What has happened to him? In the last second half of the season, he's had some ups and downs, and we're seeing the downs again. He just looks so unsure on the puck. The giveaways are brutal. He's not playing his best hockey. But let's be real here. He's not the only perpetrator here. The back end hasn't looked great either. And yes, they've kept the Leafs down, but in some places, like losing close 2-1 games, but it does not for one time do they look dangerous in the last 3 games. Minus, I'd say, the third period of that one comeback where they're really pushing. They had some chances there, but realistically, at no point have I felt that the Leafs were in danger of losing this series. And I say the Leafs in danger of losing this series because not once did I think the Montreal Canadiens looked like they were going to win the series. So it wasn't coming together. And don't be wrong, I was around during some of those runs back in the day, and I'm not talking about back in the day. Let's be real here, which are way cooler to talk about. But I'm talking about that kind of 2007 and 2014 period, where pushing to the conference finals, and even the series with the Bruins when they were losing, they won the first round, they lost the first round, but you had this hope with the team. And let's not forget the magical run of 2010 with Halak and just the Canadiens putting everything on the line, and the year with Carey Price backstopping them all the way to the conference finals, and even to some degree last year in that play-in round and against the Flyers, where you had a little bit more hope, mostly because they were playing underdog. But I'm not feeling that this year. And you know what? That same old story year after year for the last 7-8 years of them just being either mediocre or playing underdog and trying to get a spoiler. It's not it. It's not it. This is the product you get. I mean, this is the playoff. We're built for the playoffs Marc Bergevin team right now. And it starts there. 100%. It starts with Bergevin and the makeup of this team. And one level down, and this is Bergevin's choice, is Dominique Ducharme. He is not. I just don't think he's the coach. He's not the coach who's going to get us there. Let's be real here. You can pick apart individual line choices and lineups and all that kind of stuff, which I also have been I've not been a fan of at all. Let's be real here. Merrill shouldn't be in there for Romanov, and same thing with. I know Caulfield one is a little bit iffy, but even starting the series without Kotkaniemi, I know that Evans' injury was unfortunate. That one, I mean, I came out of this series hot saying the Toronto Maple Leafs are going to remember the name Jake Evans, and unfortunately that didn't age well, but not because of Jake Evans, anything he did. He just got injured, and that's unfortunate. And don't get me wrong, there's been some injuries in the lineup, but Marc Bergevin and the Montreal Canadiens talked about having that depth. Doesn't seem to matter at this point in time. The Maple Leafs have lost their captain and their big deadline acquisition. That was their backup third line center to replace their captain after he was injured. So injuries aren't it. Ref calls aren't it. And there's been some bad calls, but one of them that stuck out to me was that one on Armia where Paul Byron was chipped and then Armia had his stick knocked out and then the guy flipped his stick and then they come back and score and make it 3-0, or I think it was 3-0. Brutal missed call. But let me make one thing clear. Even with a differently called game, Montreal Canadiens have done nothing with their power play and have not looked dangerous one bit on the man advantage. Like, it has just been brutal at some points watching them play on the man advantage. I will give it their last game, they started having some like pickup moments on the power play, but not sustained pressure and 0 goals. So really, who cares? And the Leafs would be winning the series no matter what on the reffing calls. Like, they're not that bad. Nonetheless, the team is just playing to completely uninspired hockey. It was a boring game to watch at best. If you watch some of these other series, they're lit. Like, it is exciting playoff hockey. This just looks like a matter of time for the Leafs to win. And I know I said the Canadiens could take it in 7. That's because I'm a Habs fan and I'm going to hang on to that little bit of hope. And I'll still hang on to that little bit of hope. But I don't have much of it left because this is looking like it's going down in 5. All right, that's it for this week's edition of the Habs Fan Forum. Thank you so much for watching. I know it couldn't be more exciting news after the week we just had. But if you liked the video, please like down below, subscribe, tell all your friends, and hopefully hit that little bell to get some future episodes. And if you're looking for some more Montreal Canadiens coverage, check out our podcasts, The Canadiens Connection and The Press Zone, which, along with the Habs Fan Forum, are proudly part of the Hockey Podcast Network. All right, reach out on Twitter, Montreal_Forum, if you have any questions or comments. Follow all Habs for the best Canadiens connection. And once again, even though I can't say I'm in the highest of moods on this team, I'm still going to say it. Go Habs, go!